What's good, YouTube? And welcome to me sitting the high-end collector market down. Hi, how you doing? The rest of the market watch will be about Banlist changes and hype through the YCS, that kind of stuff. But first, I want to bring back to the Starlight market not being affected by 25th anniversary rares. I can often be wrong for the right reasons, so I also want to bring up that a lot of collectible markets are shaking and buckling right now, but the next three examples all skyrocketed and went up during that zone, and it's not just a fallout of hype for these cards on why they're going down, in my opinion. A lot of people said, oh, these aren't comparable at all, quarter century rares and Starlight rares, these look nothing like it, they look like discounts, they look like fakes, and I said, I think people will take them as comparables and also be willing to wait and go for something cheaper quite often in these situations where some people would have said, I need that Exodia eventually, they'll end up settling for a quarter century rare Exodia, and I think that's exactly what's happening with multiple cards. Exodia here was doing really well. Let's look at the year graph, trucking through the collector market, kind of quaking in all those different industries and continuing to chug up and forward, and now it's nothing like the end of this graph at 610. You can see sales at 540s, and now listings under that, 533, please take it, 533, top rated sellers, you know, out here, 535, tons of them under that 540 range all the way through the front page, where it was selling about 100 above that. And why I noticed this today is people were letting go of it in the Facebook groups around 500 even, because they don't want to take platform fees and they want to try to move it even quicker. I, again, will express that yes, I think this will maintain some value, being super hard to get within Battles of Legend. You got to get through what, like 10 plus cases on average to end up seeing this. Absolutely ridiculous, but a lot of people will end up settling for that 25th anniversary rare, especially after seeing the ones in the legendary collections. Stardust Dragon was up above $800, and the market price here isn't going to reflect that, so we have to go to sales rates. Look at this, a sale at 860, 867, 850, 850. These weren't people just taking fees in order to try to boost the price. This was getting genuine hype around all the Synchro releases, and these were all back in April here. And where's it gone now? Under 700 there, with a full place at under 700 here before we start getting back to 725, which is still over $100 dip on this as well. Now you can lose some steam from hype, and the OCG stuff is coming, so it'll be interesting to see how this does once it actually does hit here and people are going back for this perhaps. But I think a lot of people will wait until the Mega 10s because it said original art on there, and we know this and Black Rose. Now Black Rose also similarly was way above in its prime hype, a sale at 700, a sale at 750, another sale at 700 or 699, nice, but where is it now? 600 even, another $100 dip. Now, percentage-wise, these aren't the most eye-popping when it does come to these cards, but it's still a relative dip, and they did have a lot more hype going for them at one point, and this was a full-on buyout. But when it comes to these cards, I think there's a very obvious, glaring issue in the room for them, and that people are going to end up settling for the comparables. But that's just my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And another interesting one to bring up actually is Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, which has a quarter century rare scheduled, but not one of those guaranteed in every 10 promos. Oh my gosh, that word's so amazing to say again. With Zeus, it's at an all-time high pretty much versus the past. It's been higher once upon a time. We can't even get to the graph. I think like 550 to 600, but here it's been a long time since it's been up this high, and it's selling relatively well because it's in the metagame. People want to play it for the WCQ, and here it is around 450. We don't know the ratios for Battles of Legend. Like, will it be one in every box, which would make them, you know, 2 cases, almost all of them? Will it be 1 per every 2 boxes? Will it be 1 per case? We have no clue how Konami is going to handle 25 different 25th anniversary rares, which I assume it's going to be around 25. They say over 20, and then the next set's going to do 25, so we'll have to wait and see. But we know it's over 20 quarter century rares, and Zeus is one of them, so it will have a competition slash competitor, but probably not as easy to get as the Megatons. We'll still have to wait to see how that ends up. But let me know what you think about ones that end up with that harder to get version versus the ones that are going to be guaranteed. You know, I buy 2 cases of 10s, I might end up having them all. Going into Banlist talks, finally, Chiwen going along with Dinglong, it is going up and skyrocketing. This is just a piece that is going to be the most easy access, also a light tuner. It works pretty well with this Chaos guy over here, although you need a non-tuner lighter Dark Monster to go with it. Dinglong being level 5, that being level 1, you end up with some easy synchro access opportunities into this, and yeah, it's really just kind of crazy that it can end up going up, like, you know, from the metagame and the ban list, all things are going well for it. I criticize this card as being too expensive and probably not lasting on top of the set, and here he is. So again, I'm down to own when I'm wrong. Are you? But yeah, I really did think this would end up being, you know, a $30 card and other things would creep past it a little bit. No, it is the solid value right now in Cyberstorm access and starting to regain some of that value. Lady Labyrinth, I swear this isn't my fault for posting on Twitter. It went up around Banlist Day. This is one I missed, and this probably got the most help from the ban list. It's not like a pointer was a huge thing for this deck at all. Lightning Storm went to 2, which actually also kind of oddly helps it, and the sales for this have been immense the last few days. You can just see people buying copy after copy after copy. It started around $20-ish on Banlist Day, quickly into the 25s, and now people are spending $40 on Lady Labyrinth of Silver Castle. Cyframe Gear Delta, this is where Market Man must be interested. He's picked so many out of bulk. I sold all my playsets at $10 and they're going to good homes. In the Discord, always giving those deals, and I'm gonna stick to those deals. They're now almost $10 a piece at 9. I always honor my sales. I'm never changing them because of a ban list. But yeah, be aware again, this is because Cyframe Gear Gamma's at 1, this takes care of spells, so it's also a pretty good card to have access to, and a lot of decks are able to make Lambda still and make it worth it. You have the Kurikara Divine Carnate. The secret rares were going a little bit crazier, but they've actually settled back. Not the most copies in the world, but yeah, around $51, $52. Be aware though that the Starlight rare has gone pretty bonkers. No quarter century rare in sight so far, but yeah, seriously, when it comes to this, we see around $250 on average after a couple of cheaper listings would be going. So yeah, this one went really wild. Purely, finally, a ban list loser, down in price for a lot of them, especially Noir. You have the original Purely Collector Rare and even the Ultra Rare, all down in price from that massive hit to the deck. You see, it was already headed down a little, but 25 is way cheaper than, you know, 37, just absolutely sinking in price, which is great for everybody who wanted a chance to play the deck, but unfortunately you never got to it full power if you waited this long. Gamma Seal is going up, probably because of that Netflix special on Gamera, but jokes aside, I actually can't really figure this one out because it doesn't make meta sense to me personally. It's going up quite a bit though through Banlist Day, and it wasn't the hardest thing to do to the secret rare. It started around, you know, $20-ish, but it has been spiking above that for some time. A lot of them went at 25, 20, and now you see a sale at 29 with all those listings around 29, 30 here on the page, and they go kind of quickly if they actually disappear. Maybe there's a small world thing I'm missing, or maybe there's a specific reason, but in my head, Santa Claus is still the choice because the pink turtle exists, and Sprite's getting a lot of hype now and talk from the pros and saying it was underestimated all along, it barely got a slap on the wrist, and this is a combo that Sprite does with pretty relative ease, and Santa Claus outs this where Gamma Seal doesn't. So let me know why you think Gamma Seal got bought out. It does not out the pink turtle, which is in the metagame, while Santa Claus does. Still slightly easier to run over, I suppose. And then finally, I was looking at Mikanko. It's doing a little something in the OCG, and it's getting baby bumps up here. We can see this has been down pretty consistently into 48, yet the lowest are now 52, 54 quickly, and the ultra that you need to play has also been baby bumping up. I keep hearing the word OCG hype. It's doing something over there, and it is starting to gain a little traction on the TCG market. And while, you know, Purely is losing some value in here, there could also be value displacement within the product, because when something goes down in one place, it can just push something else up at times where it doesn't make sense at first. So let me know what you think about Mikanko versus Purely actually finally losing some value for once? And how do you think Purely will perform? Are people underestimating it at this point, or does it still have it? They took our memories. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. It's a crazy time for the metagame. It's even crazier in the collector market, and I've got a lot of interest in both places on where they're going to head because I have my popcorn out and I'm enjoying it. And again, I'm not always right, and sometimes I'm right for the wrong reasons. Feel free to own that at times, even when saying I told you so. Like, I definitely can be wrong on things, and you all tell me you told me so, oh so many times in the comment section.